You don't need a donut cutter or any cutter to make this amazing donuts. Let me show you how. Hello home chefs, and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be making this amazing twisted donuts. For this twisted donuts, I am using my donut recipe that I already shared on this channel. I'll link it up here and in the description below. For that, you will need your flour, your yeast, milk, sugar, some margarine or butter, and some salt. We will start by mixing our dry ingredients together. That is our flour and our yeast, and you want to mix that a bit. Then in our jug or another container, we're going to add our milk and egg and sugar. Whisk that together. You're then going to mix your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients and then form a shaggy dough. You'll notice that I am holding off on adding the salt. I will add it when the shaggy dough has been formed. Salt has a way of inhibiting or killing yeast if it comes in direct contact with the yeast too early. So I like to add my salt last when I am making my dough, just before I add my margarine or butter if I'm using margarine or butter in the dough. So we're going to do the shaggy dough first. Then once the dough is just starting to come together, I'm going to add in my salt, then knead the dough to develop some gluten before adding my margarine. You can use butter, I'm just using margarine here. Because we want our donuts to rise quite well, we are going to make sure we develop our gluten first before adding our fat, which is our margarine in this case, or butter if that's what you're using, because it can tend to inhibit gluten formation if fat is added too early into a dough. I normally make this dough using my stand mixer because it can be a bit sticky, but just as I showed you in the previous video where I make the donuts using a donut cutter, I realize that not everyone has a stand mixer, so I show you how I make it by hand. It's gonna take you a bit of elbow grease, but it is still doable, and I wanted to show it to you by kneading this dough by hand. When you add the fat into this dough, it's going to fall apart, but I need you to trust the process. You're going to knead in this fat no matter how much the dough has fallen apart, and the more you knead, the more the dough is going to come together, and soon you're going to have your dough looking all cohesive all over again. As we knead the dough, allow me to say thank you for all the new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Here we have adventure and fun in the kitchen, one recipe at a time as home chefs. For all the returning subscribers, thank you for always making this place your home. This video is as a response to one of the subscribers who was just like, I want to make your donuts, but I don't have a donut cutter. I wasn't sure what to use, and so I thought I would show you an amazing and beautiful way of getting the moist donuts without a cutter at home, so anyone can try them. I really love this method of making the donuts because it does not require you to like roll out your dough and re-roll it once you've used your cutter. So in case you're feeling tired and don't want to go through all the hassle of rolling out your dough and cutting out your donuts, or in case you do not have a donut cutter and don't know what to do, this is the perfect solution for your donuts. This is an enriched dough because of the margarine or butter, if you use butter, and the egg and milk and all. So that makes this dough take a longer time to prove than a dough that is not enriched. So once your dough is all soft and supple, we are going to proof this for about an hour to 2 hours. You just keep checking on it until it has doubled in size. Once your dough has doubled in size, we are going to get it out of our bowl and we will divide it into the number of donuts that we're going to be making. The donuts that I am making are going to be roughly 55 to 60 grams, so that means you can easily get away with about 12 donuts. We'll start by dividing our dough. Then once we get the pieces that we need, remember you can make this donut smaller if you want, and so you'll get more pieces, but I feel like they look better when they're bigger. So we're going to divide our dough into 11 to 12 pieces, and then we will roll them out into small balls. Once all our pieces are rolled into balls, I tend to want to pre-shape my balls into logs for the next step. So I'll pre-shape this and then I will let them rest for about 5 to 10 minutes so that the gluten is relaxed before I go on to shape the donut. Now that all our pieces are relaxed, you're going to pick one of your pieces and then you will roll it out into an elongated rope, just as I'm showing in the video. I'm going to be doing this twice so that you're able to see it quite well. And then once you have your rope, you're going to twist and tuck until you have this shape as shown in the video. Then your donut shape is going to be ready. I make sure to tuck my ends quite well. You will press them against the donut and against each other. If you don't, they will unravel in the oil. It doesn't mean that your donut is going to be spoiled, but you just want to do this to ensure that the shape is maintained in the frying process. Just take your time and be patient. With a bit of practice, you're going to be able to do it. And if this doesn't turn out great on the first try, just fry them up, enjoy them, and try them again. Once all our donuts have been shaped, we're going to proof them for about 30 minutes. And you'll notice that they actually almost double in size. Then we're going to put our oil in a frying pan, whatever frying pan you choose, and we'll make sure that the temperature of the oil is the right temperature. I just check that with a chopstick. If it bubbles on the side, then the oil is ready. And then you're going to throw in your donuts and fry them on each side 2 to 3 minutes until they're golden brown, and they'll be ready. When you're frying them, to prevent the seam from easily rupturing in the oil, start with the side that doesn't have a seam first, then you'll turn over to the side that has the seam. And once they're out of the oil, they're ready. You can enjoy this with your breakfast tea, 10 o'clock tea, 4 o'clock tea, or coffee, or just snack on them as is. If you also would like to elevate them a bit, this is what I like to do. I add about a teaspoon of cinnamon and about a quarter cup of sugar into a bowl and mix it up. Then I throw in these donuts while they are hot from the frying pan and allow the sugar to coat them. This brings this amazing cinnamony taste on them and this sugar crunch. If you are a sweet tooth, you're going to love that. Also, you could dust this with some icing sugar. Still, if you're a sweet tooth, you will love it. And just like that, we are done making these amazing twisted donuts. Thank you for joining me on this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos. And as always, enjoy. Bye.